And I'm going to tell you how human sexual energy is vampirized in adults. Okay? So we have adult 1 and we have adult 2. Okay? A and B. And Ed, now if these are polar mates, that is, they're actually each other's energy complement. One is a male, one is a female. When they meet and they get sexually involved, then the center of one of them is quantumly equal to the center of the other. So this is the energy center. It's in the deep core of the body, and out from it flows energy to the whole body like that. So when they meet, Ed, they're going to find that they actually are already mirrors of each other. So there can be an adjustment issue or whatever, because B can see stuff that A can't, and A can see stuff that B can't. But that's how it is when you meet your actual polar complement or soulmate. Now, Ed, you imagine A is a human, natural human, and there's B, Ed. Let's say, Ed, for the moment that B is another human. Now, Ed, because A and B are not soulmates, or they are not the same polarity, they will repel each other in a particular way where they cannot have sexual involvement with each other, because their energies don't match that way. So they will repel each other sexually. But if A is a human and B is not, B is a sterile fake, that is a soulless human body basically. What happens, Ed, is that A has their energy center here, and what A does, Ed, is because A is expecting B to be this, A is expecting B to be their complement, but B is not. A begins to telecast the memory of B onto this, to project it. A takes A's own vital energy up to the head and converts it and projects. And then A projects their own center into B, just like this. Now, how natural soulmates are actually living from each other's center, A starts living in a projected way, Ed, from B. So what A does is, A is projecting A's own energy. A is collecting up everything, Ed, and sending it to the head, projecting it here, and then projecting it out of B back to himself or herself, in a way living through B. Because A would have done that with B naturally, but this is a fake B. So, but A is projecting this. And this is a whole lot of psychic energy. And what happens, Ed, is that B starts mirroring, an artificial mirroring of A. For whatever time, Ed, this relationship goes, A is supplying the whole deal. A is imagining the whole deal. B is just having a good time and feeling really good. And Ed, B can start taking on the talents. B can start taking on the behaviors and even sense of identity that A has. B can start joking like A, and B can even start looking like A, because B is actually a blank, and anything can be made out of this blank. Now, when this relationship breaks up, Ed, and it will eventually, because A will not be able to sustain this constant drain, A is going to go into metabolic crisis. There is no other way out. The A is going to go into a metabolic crisis of some sort, and if A has to even keep living, A will have to break up. And now when A breaks up with B, the vast number of humans, Ed, they don't know that they have to take their energy field center back into their own body, that it's actually stuck there. And the reason it's stuck there, Ed, is because they still imagine that B is the person that they imagined B into. That all that B became when in a relationship with A imagines that B is naturally like that, when that is not true. So what happens, Ed, is that B has captured this stream from A, and when B walks away with a bit of that connection, with that channel open to A. B is walking away. So then A has gone on and moved on in life, and B is not there anymore. But A doesn't know this, because A is continuing to project that B is that person, and B will go on Ed and pretend to be that person that they were with A with a million others. And who's supplying all the energy for that is A. And like that, Ed, some poor humans are caught with C, D, E, F, G, H, I, and goes on. And all of these, Ed, all have psychic channels to A, because A thinks C is a wonderful person, A thinks D has got certain talents, A thinks E is innocent little child, A thinks F is you know what I mean. So all these are channels. And what happens, Ed, is because these are all blanks, Ed, they're all owned by whoever made them. Whichever, they're all made. So they're all owned, Ed, by somebody. And this somebody that owns all of them, Ed, they are getting all this energy, all of this, and they are making deals. They are making deals, Ed. And here's where, Ed, A's life becomes totally controlled, because the people who make these deals, they want all of these and B, all of them, to be in a place or in a situation where they can keep that contact alive with Ed. With A. Because they want to keep vampirizing this human being. So they have to keep A in situations and places and in certain kinds of lack, which they can supply. Like if they keep A in debt, then they will have D arrive one day and say, oh, are you in trouble? Can I help you? Or if A is an emotional person, they can have H, run into A in the supermarket and, say, remember the good old days, we had such fun, all that kind of thing. So then they start controlling the life of this human very closely, because now this human is supplying so many with energy. Now, not many humans actually make it at this far. Most of the time they actually die, because metabolically it's very difficult, to support this many. But that's how it is. And they do versions of this on children as well, ritually, without the child, in an age before the child is able to know what's going on. But that's another matter. But this is why, Ed, it's very important, if a person is not with their soulmate, that when they break up, that they get their energy center back into themselves and release the projected personality that they put on the other person. Because if they were your mate, then they're not going to break up with you. And if they're human and they're not your mate, then they're going to repel you. But if they're not human and they're not your mate, but they still maintain a exchange with you, they are vampires. They are blanks, and they are sucking up your energy, which is being sent to who owns them and who's making deals on them and on you. So you must release and understand that you don't even know who that person was. You projected your soulmate onto them. And there are lots of reasons why you could have done that at first sight, because the thug world is full of hormonal disguises, where they take the hormones of humans and have fakes carry them so that they come across as the human. So any human can make these mistakes, but you have to release the projected personality, because that personality is fake, and you're getting metabolically, you're being drained. And I just put metabolic crisis because that's the stuff that's visible immediately. The person's body goes out of control. But it's financial. It's always, there's always a financial crisis aspect, and some of that blows over because humans who are in family groups are fine, but it's different, it is whatever happens, in one area of our lives happens in all areas of our lives. So this actually happens to us in every area of our lives.